Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good afternoon. So, let's get started for today. Inroads changes lives, and with the help of supporters like you, Inroads literally transformed my life. Good evening. My name is Akima Fuller, a proud 4 years Inroads College Link scholar. I'm graduating from Osborne Park High School on June 11th and will be attending Spelman College in the fall of 2022. I plan to major in comparative women's studies and minor in environmental studies. I aspire to be an entrepreneur who innovates the world and the way we think by providing a more equitable tomorrow for women of color. Let me just say, that's not what I wanted to do when I first joined Inroads. I joined Inroads in 2018 after much resistance from my father signing me up. I wasn't feeling it. I did not want to wake up early on Saturdays for our Inroads professional development seminars and wear business casual clothing and sit in a room full of my peers. I needed a break from the week. What I did not realize is that Inroads would play a major role in my life. We played games, we had snacks, and we got to meet a lot of interesting people. Inroads has helped me broaden and change my mindset, which has given me a competitive advantage. For example, my friend and I started a business called Passe Empowerment. If you didn't know, Passe just means empowerment in Latin. So, Passe Empowerment is a female led organization designed to expose, engage, and encourage girls and females to explore careers and opportunities in the fields of STEAM. So, STEAM is just STEM with an A. So, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Inroads has taught me to lead and take responsibility for my actions. I learned how to pitch ideas to companies such as Amazon and work with diverse groups of people. Without Inroads, I don't think I would have had the skills necessary to efficiently run my business. Speaking of which, a few months ago, I had a presentation for my US and VA government class. My friend and I were first to present. Inroads taught me to take initiative and go first when the opportunity presents itself. At one point in the middle of the presentation, I felt like I wanted to disappear because I could feel the weight of my peers' stress. They were not as prepared as I was at all. I didn't realize how prepared I was to speak publicly and present in comparison to my peers until that day. They were getting mad because they were unable to answer questions, and some of them didn't have a visual in their presentation, while others repeatedly said, um. That leads me to one of my favorite parts of Inroads, the questions. I've I've never been in an environment where people ask questions for 15 minutes after someone presented. It was one after the other, and I suddenly realized I was in a room full of intellectuals. And don't get me started on the biggest intellectual of all, Mr. Pierre. He's behind me. Pierre, if you didn't know, Pierre Campbell is the is the program manager and the oh my bad um in the Inroads internship program as well. Mr. Pierre brings the energy and pushes us to be our best selves. I will never forget one of his favorite sayings: my response is my responsibility. I will use that statement to help me stop and think before I respond for the rest of my life. Additionally, Mr. Pierre is always there to help us grow as leaders. Thank you for writing my college recommendation letter, Mr. Pierre. Spelman has been the #1 HBCU in the country for 15 consecutive years. It's also the most expensive HBCU. So if anybody wants to help out, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you all, Inroads staff, alumni, and sponsors across the country for investing in us future leaders. We appreciate you so much. My yeah, round of applause. My Inroads College Links experience is why I will continue being part of the Inroads family as an intern during my college years. This is the kind of experience we need to provide every underrepresented leader. Today, we are here to do just that. Buckle up for a fun evening of celebration and giving as we write a new chapter of impact. It brings me great pleasure to introduce our president and CEO of Inroads, Forrest T. Harper Jr. Mr. Harper. Mr. Harper is a fearless leader. He is also passionate about mentoring and sowing into the lives of young people. He's a growth leader. And so naturally, his work at Inroads has provided opportunities to shape and transform even more lives. This Morgan State alumnus is leading the way for all of us. Go Bears! Please welcome our Inroads president and CEO, Forrest T. Harper Jr.
Listen, we cannot stop applauding for Akima. Let's give her another hand, huh? Right? Right? Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. And those of you who are online, thank you for joining us. And there's a special family in Kentucky that's online that's related to our founder. And we want to thank you, the Carr family, for being with us to be able to get to this. And there are people all over the globe watching where we're watching. So you're right here, and we're right here with you. Thank you for being here with us. Let's give this young lady one more hand. Come on now. I know what she means by that. Thank you for sharing, but most of all, entrusting your development as a part of your team with you. We can't do it by ourselves. We know that there are others that are out there with us. Thank you. Pierre, where are you? Awesome. Let's give Pierre a hand. Everybody, come on. Before I introduce our amazing MC for the evening, I would like to take a few moments just to say thank you to a lot of people who made this possible. So first of all, let me thank the most epic, generous, strong-working, and passionate people about Inroads, and that is the Inroads staff. Wherever they are, let's just stand up for me and all once and give the Inroads staff a wonderful hand. Come on, everybody. Come on. Come on. Come on, to the Inroads staff. Come on. Thank you very much. Thank you. And a special note to you see this lady walking around like she's a general. She is. A graduate Spelman. She is. And that's Zulema Edwards, who's leading this whole process. Thank you, Zulema. Sometime tonight, you're going to hear from a friend of mine who, when he left government, he started to become a part of what's going to happen in America to ensure that everybody has equal access to the commerce of this great country, and that's Rick Wade. But thank Rick for helping us host here at this event. And then how about our two big hosts? Procter & Gamble is the presiding sponsor. I know they're going to get thanked at another time, but let's thank them right now for a big job with it, okay? And then there was a small company that bought another small company and then bought a big company, now called Paramount, but it's Viacom, CBS, and BET. Let's thank them, Mary. Come on now. When we called them up and started working with them last year, they were so impressed of the impact we're making on the underrepresented but talented superstars. They said, we will host this next year and live stream this as we speak right now. So you can all wave at the camera and say, we're on TV, Mom. Okay? And then the hardest working nonprofit board of directors. And I can say that because I'm amongst a peer group of 106 CEOs of nonprofits down in the Atlanta area. And when I come to the meeting, they go, oh boy, here's Forrest again talking about that high-performing nonprofit board of directors from Inroads. So let's give our board of directors from Inroads a big hand to be here tonight. And then in the course of really formalities and professionalism, I'd like to give a couple of shout outs. So let me first say, our good friend, we were doing some innovative collaboration. One of them couldn't make it tonight, and that's Michael Lomax, Dr. Lomax from UNCF, a great partner. Let's give UNCF a big hand, okay? Our other partner who helps us develop the youth for the country in areas that you see and you hear their touch every single day, and that's Dr. Harry Williams from Thurgood Marshall College. For Harry, all right, let's give Harry a big hand for joining us. Thank you, my friend. One of our board members who are not here tonight She just finished up and she leads as the CEO of Diversity Inc. She was in an accident earlier today and she's still recovering, but her spirit is bright and long. She puts out the top 50 Diversity Inc., and that's Carolyn Johnson. Let's give her a hand in spirit. And then we have friends who get on entertainment and they just make it happen. Is Jasmine here tonight? Jasmine Johnson? Jasmine, iHeartRadio in the house, everybody. From blues, R&B, country, western, they got it all. They're our partner. Imagine this. In 1944, a white stately gentleman stepped off the campus of Princeton University and headed to be in the government working in our armed forces as a Navy pilot. He had already knew he had something in his mind when he wanted to finish. When he served the nation and came back, he saw a lot going on wrong in the nation in the early 60s. And when he thought about it, he says, I need to quit my job and do something that impacts an injustice going on in America today. And that person was our founder, Frank Carr, at the time. You see, Frank Carr knew there was something wrong in the nation back in the early 60s. So what he said to his family of well-to-do standards, that we need to do something different. And they said, okay, go ahead. He says, I will. So when he did something, he took a busload of Black and Latino students to a little mall here about 1.1 miles from here called the Mall in Washington. And they heard the Martin Luther King speech, I Have a Dream. Frank Carr left that meeting, drove back, quit his job in advertising. That thump was his wife falling over and said, you did what? He had 4 kids at the time. He says, I need to start something because there is a problem in the nation and I want to do something about it. Took him 7 years to build it, and thus he built Inroads. And now we're 52 years from now, today, knowing that this month in our Founders Day, it took a real entrepreneur thinking that he wanted to do something right to close this gap in America. And this July, it would have been his 100th birthday. And we get privileged to say, we're here humble, standing on the grounds that where it was all born by an entrepreneur who wanted to see social justice throughout our nation. So that's why we're proud. And later this evening, you're going to hear about plans to showcase our legacy of Inroads through the Inroads Heritage Center. And with that in mind, we all know that nothing starts out that's big and epic without stumbles along the way, without trips, without falls. He kept getting back up over those 7 years because he wanted to make a difference in one thing, equity. He wanted to have equity amongst all of us. And people thought he was out of his mind. But when he did it, he remembered 2 things that he was taught. If you're working on something and you believe in it, keep doing it until you get it right. And without his entrepreneur spirit, it wouldn't have been done. So today, what you're seeing is there would not be a number of STEM business majors and executives in the country without Frank Carr, who left this nation as Father Carr in his lifetime. You see, there'd be 30,000 less alumni if it hadn't been for him. You see, there would be a fewer STEM startup founders like Kimberly Bryant, Black Girls Code. There would be one less U.S. Black actor on This Is Us like Sterling K. Brown. There'd be one less award-winning musician, Aloe Black. There'd be 50% reduction in the number of Black women leading a Fortune 500 company like the son to Duckett. There's only 2. Get the math right. Get the math right, okay? We got a long way to go. And she's the CEO of TIA. There'd be one less first Black president of the National Press Club. In what we see today, we're still working on first. That's why he was so passionate. And there'd be fewer underrepresented people with a seat at the table in the C-suite. And the world would have one less agent for social justice and change. You see, the legacy of founder Father Frank Carr is what we celebrate today. I'm merely a servant of this great legacy, and I take it very seriously. I'm not a CEO. I'm merely a passionate, driven servant of the mission of Inroads. And I'm honored to be in this position and this journey towards equity while contributing to closing the racial wealth gap in America. Our MC tonight talked about that, and he continues to be on the passionate front lines of bringing equity where it needs to be talked about on the front burner. And so we're privileged tonight to have him. I know you want me to tell you a little bit about him, but hold on a second. First of all, let me recognize a part of the Carr family that is here tonight, and that is his niece, Lisa Carr, sitting right there. Stand up, Lisa. Let everybody see you. Who would have thought that the niece of our founder, Father Carr, would be continuing his work through being the senior policy advisor to the White House of faith-based and neighborhood partnerships? Let's give Lisa a hand for joining us tonight, please. You see, this is Inroads' first hybrid event, and it's well off to a great start. It's awesome to see all of you here today, and I'm honored to be with those who are online. Throughout the evening, you'll be provided a chance to sow into the lives of others by allowing Inroads to do even more life-changing work. Here to lead us through an evening of recognition and celebration, it's almost there, and giving. Took us 7 weeks to write this speech here. I gotta do it. And giving is a very special guest. You've seen him on MSNBC. You read his byline in the Washington Post. He's a friend of progress and a champion of advancement. He's deeply passionate about the craft of journalism and its power-filled impact throughout. Over the years, he's received numerous awards and recognition to include the Pulitzer Prize for Editorial Writing, the Washington Post editorial board. You know how hard it is to get on the Washington Post editorial board? I don't know, but I believe it's hard. The anchor of MSNBC's The Sunday Show, the PBS NewsHour, nearly 500,000 followers, and I Googleized them, nearly 500,000 Googles today. But if you ask me what is about Jonathan's life experience that you may not know, in the mid-'80s, when gas was about 20 cents, if you took a ride down to the Jersey Shore in Wildwood, New Jersey, and you needed to fuel up, and you need your car to be fueled up, there would be a young kid pumping gas. That's at the Sunoco station in Wildwood, New Jersey. Jonathan would be probably pumping your gas and washing your windshields. Jonathan Capehart is my first and only Pulitzer Prize winning person I will introduce in my lifetime. The Sunday Show with Jonathan Capehart on MSNBC, I watch it a lot. Most importantly, if you haven't heard the recent, he was promoted to associate editor of the Washington Post. Folks, y'all gotta say, please join me and welcome to the stage our master of ceremony, Mr. Jonathan Capehart.
Yeah, I pumped gas, I cleaned windshields, and much to my surprise, people gave me tips, which I used to feed my video tennis habit down at the boardwalk on my days off, and also to buy my copies of the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Philadelphia Inquirer. And if anybody touched them before I had a chance to touch them, I was mad. just so y'all know. You know, I'm probably breaking my television contract by being on BET's air. So I don't know who the joke's on, but This will probably be the one and only time I'm on BET. But it says here, thanks, Forrest, but Mr. Harper, thank you very much. It is indeed an honor to be your MC tonight. Welcome to everyone who is here in person and those who are attending online on this Cinco de Mayo. For those here in person, sorry y'all who are watching on the live stream, but there was a reception that was off the hook. I could not participate because I'm no good on alcohol in a public setting like this. But the pre-event reception, we got to give a special shout out to Pronghorn for bringing the bar with them. Not only did they bring the bar with them, they provided an entire bar stocked with spirits from Black-owned companies. So that deserves a round of applause. So I don't need to tell anyone here that representation matters. It shapes the way we understand the events happening around us. It also helps us to understand the world around us. Each of us brings a different lens to everything we do. And the more lenses we offer, the more we have a chance to ensure that we create a world that truly reflects the views of all of us. Inroads is helping to create that kind of representation and has been doing so for more than 50 years. That's an incredible testament to your enduring legacy. Today, we celebrate impact while also giving back to allow Inroads another 50 years of impact. And we cannot go any further without pausing to recognize our incredible host. I've been in this town for 15 years. This is my first time in this building, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. I came in around the back, went upstairs to the roof where they have an excellent camera location with a view of the White House. But the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is an incredible building. They provide incredible advocacy for businesses and play a critical role in helping companies thrive and serve. Here, representing the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is Rick Wade, Senior Vice President of Strategic Alliance and Outreach. Let's welcome him to the stage. Where is he? Here he comes.
Jonathan, you don't have to come through the back door anymore. I got it. Let me first say to my good friend Forrest Hopper and all of the Inroads family, welcome to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I hope this is not your last time. We're very thrilled to host this, your 50th anniversary celebration. And as a matter of history, if this is your first time here, this headquarters building was completed back in 1925. It, before was the chamber, was the Corcoran House, a mansion once occupied by former United States Senator and Secretary of State Daniel Webster, whose desk we actually still have in our possession. The architect of this building was Cassilius, who was also the architect of the United States Supreme Court. And we're currently in the final stages of a major renovation, which, as Jonathan mentioned, includes a spectacular rooftop and ballroom. We look forward to hosting you again when we have completed our renovation. So you got to come back. But the point is, we're no strangers to Inroads, but a friend. We hosted you before, and again, it's an honor to have you again this evening. We share the same purpose and to share the same work, to invest in and inspire and develop the next generation of leaders, in my case, particularly diverse business leaders across this country. And we share the commitment to even a more fruitful experience of working together and making a difference. I do want to recognize my team, Latricia Boone, I think is still here, our Vice President for Equality of Opportunity Initiative, Morgan Dunn, who runs our Next Generation Partnership with Historically Black Colleges and other minority serving institutions. And Jonathan, when you mentioned that bar, she happened to be at the bar. So We're in business, but we also believe in partaking of the products. But again, I want to thank all of you. I hope you will view the Chamber as your home. This is my fifth year at the U.S. Chamber as the highest ranking and the only one, but we're working on it, executive. But we're excited about the work we're doing, the progress that we're making to advance more equality of opportunity for all people. At this time, let me bring up Reverend Thomas Bowen, the Director of African American Strategic Engagement in the office of our nation's capital's mayor, Mayor Muriel Bowser, for a very special proclamation to be presented to Inroads CEO Forrest Hopper and Board Chair Yvette Smith. Please join us here on the stage.
Thank you, Brother Wade. As has been shared, my name is Reverend Thomas Bowen. I have the honor of serving as Director of African American Strategic Engagement in the administration of Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, who unfortunately could not be here with you on this evening due to another engagement. I can go back and report to her that I got the best of the deal tonight by being here with you. Now, Brother Capehart presented me with a dilemma in coming here because as Director of African American Affairs, it is my job to support all things Black. I'm a Baptist minister, and this evening I may have to support all things Black. I have a proclamation that has been issued for this grand occasion. Whereas Inroads late founder Frank C. Carr planted the seeds for what the organization has become today. Whereas inspired by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, Mr. Carr quit his executive level job and began taking action to increase ethnic diversity in America corporate management. And whereas Mr. Carr launched Inroads in 1970, determined to develop and place talented, underrepresented youth in business and prepare them for corporate and community leadership. And whereas in 1995, Coretta Scott King and the King Center presented Father Carr, who became a Roman Catholic priest, with the Salute to Greatness Award for advancing Dr. King's legacy. Whereas since its founding, Inroads has grown into a nationally recognized international organization with more than 28 locations serving nearly 2,000 interns at 200 companies. And whereas during its 50-year history, Inroads has prepared more than 154,000 Black and underrepresented youth for corporate careers. Now, therefore, I, the mayor of Washington, D.C., soon to be 51st state, do hereby congratulate and honor Inroads on the occasion of your Founders Day Gala and for your dedicated service to the residents of Washington, D.C. and the nation. Signed, the Honorable Muriel Bowser, Mayor of Washington, D.C.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Bowen. And also thank you to Mayor Muriel Bowser for that proclamation. And also to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Wade, I look forward to my key. Procter & Gamble, tonight's presenting sponsor, also has a long and rich relationship with Inroads. Procter & Gamble, as you know, is a global consumer products leader and an ardent supporter of internships and full-time employment for Inroaders. Their partnership has been consequential and has helped make an incredible difference, incredible difference not only in the lives of youth, but also in communities with their special Take on Race initiative. This effort provides communities in need with access to technology to close the digital gap that disproportionately affects communities of color. Now, here are a few words from Mark Pritchard, Chief Brand Officer at Procter & Gamble.
Good evening, everyone. P&G is proud to return once again as the presenting sponsor and champion of the critical work Inroads is leading. You are successfully preparing the next generation of outstanding leaders for corporations and communities across the country. It's an honor to be an Inroads partner. I'll start with a heartfelt congratulations to the visionaries and leaders being recognized tonight for your embodiment of the Inroads mission and for the meaningful impact you're making in the community. I want to thank and congratulate the staff, the board, and the thousands of committed Inroads alumni, together with the indomitable Forrest Harper, for your continued innovation and your continued impact. Inroads consistently demonstrates its ability to help close the racial wealth gap by providing educational and career opportunities to Inroads interns. And this impact is so clear based on the many contributions of the Inroads alumni who today are helping P&G serve consumers across the country and around the world. Thank you for all you do. You make our company better every day. You make the lives of the consumers we serve better every day. As we aspire to be a force for growth and a force for good in the world, we know there are few resources more precious than the bright, creative minds that will help us address the major challenges we face. From extreme poverty, to climate change, to the systemic inequalities that persist for women, people of color, the LGBTQ community, and so many more. This is why the advocacy Inroads leads, both in classrooms and boardrooms, has never been more important. The forces of denial and complacency about these challenges we face can stand in the way of our collective progress, but only if we allow it. The people of P&G do our best to use our voice to take a stand to face these challenges, and we're inspired by Inroads, who always speaks truth to power when it's needed most. Along this journey, please know that we're in this together and that you have our full and our continued support. Again, thank you for allowing P&G to join tonight's celebration as the presenting sponsor. And most importantly, thank you for allowing us to be a partner on the path to progress.
Again, thank you to thank you to Mark Pritchard of Procter & Gamble. As I was introducing the video, I felt my phone buzz, and I looked, and it was right around the time my mother usually calls or FaceTimes me, and so I just sent her the link so that she can watch. So, she knows where I am and what I'm up to. Assuming she's figured it all out now. Hi, Mom. I'd like to talk about power. Power is fueled by excellence, and excellence is what drives us forward with purpose. Powering this event is none other than BET Networks, a network I usually would not be on because of a contract. Just so everyone knows. They have powered important dialogue for our community for decades, and they are bringing their culture-shaping influence to this event. Let's enjoy this video from BET.
Inroads plays an extraordinarily important role in this broader ecosystem of supporting really talented, diverse young people in their journey to success in academic environments and success in professional environments. And at the end of the day, what our community needs is we need more people to be successful. And so an organization like Inroads is so important in helping the really talented young folks in our community who have aspirations in these fields to be as successful and as competitive in these wildly competitive environments as they can be. And so for BET, it's entirely consistent with our mission. Our mission is to entertain, engage, and ultimately empower. And ultimately, what Inroads is doing is it's empowering our community.
Now it's time to thank all of our 2022 Inroads Benefit Gala sponsors. and they're all right here. U.S. Chamber of Commerce, P&G, BET, Pronghorn, and I will be there before the end of the evening. I just have to be responsible up here in front of the mic. Lockheed Martin, UPS, Dollar General, UHG, Assured Guarantee, CBRE, Cetera Financial Group, Pepsi, E&Y, Daimler Truck North America, Southern Company, Foley Hoag, Ironwood, Propel Center, Truist, L3 Harris, Zoetis, F5, Chevron, United Rentals, Block. Somebody's so happy Pronghorn is here. Pronghorn is here. It's listed twice. St. Liberty Whiskey, 10-to-1 rum, Blackleaf Vodka, Wifey Sparkling Wine, Lobos Tequila. Thank you all very much for your sponsorship for tonight. And right now, we're going to hear from two of our sponsors right now. First, Lockheed Martin, and then Pronghorn.
We are all created equal, but we aren't there yet. We are overtapped in culture and untapped in the industry. But a new day is coming, and we are at the helm of it. We are Pronghorn.
Again, thank you, Lockheed Martin and Pronghorn, for those videos. So you're going to hear me say this several times tonight, so just be prepared. But tonight is about giving, and you can give by texting Inroads Impact, all one word, to 50155. And for those of you who are here, and I can see all of you, we provided you with the QR code for giving. It's on the back of your seat card. So when doing this work, there are leaders who rise to the occasion. They become standard bearers who make us strive to work harder and do more. In the spirit of Father Frank Carr, the founder of Inroads, we are eager to honor leaders, entrepreneurs, alumni, and corporate titans who go beyond the call to transform lives. Our first award is the Frank Carr Corporate Partner of the Year. The award recipient for the Frank Carr Award is an industry giant who has risen against workplace bias to build inclusive spaces. This recipient has used its resources to make an incredible investment in HBCUs, more than $50 million, and they are leading the charge in partnering with Inroads to build more sustainable communities. The recipient of the Frank Carr Award is Southern Company. Accepting their award virtually is Southern Company's chairman, president, and CEO, Tom Fanning.
Hi, I'm Tom Fanning. I'm the chairman, president, and CEO of the Southern Company. Southern Company has committed to diversity for years and years and years. It's been a passion of mine going way back in my career. Inroads has been a tremendously effective program for us because as you think about diversity, it isn't just a top-down exercise. What we want to do is develop a wealth of talent at all levels in the organization. Inroads has been particularly important for us, not only to bring people in and start to build this groundswell of talent, but I think importantly, one of the most respectful things that any human being can do for another is to listen and to understand. In an interesting kind of turn, the folks from Inroads help develop us and make us better. While Southern Company is this great, big, iconic, successful company, we've always taken the point of view that we've got to be bigger than our bottom line. It's a company that defines its success by something much bigger than earnings per share or stock price. We must be good citizens wherever we serve, and we believe that the communities must be better off as a result because we're there. As part of a broader commitment, we've allocated $50 million to the HBCUs. We've done that in a variety of ways. One of the things I'm most proud of is our investment in the Propel Center. This is a joint venture between us and Apple. We found that the HBCUs have been a tremendous generator of talent for America. And what we want to do is give an injection of ways to get better. And I think by alliances between people like Southern and Apple, creating the Center of Excellence where all the HBCUs can draw upon that capability will not only make them better today, but I think put them in a competitive posture for the future. It really starts to develop what America needs in its workforce. We're so proud and humbled to accept this award. You know, when you think about anybody that you could have given this to, we're thrilled. I want it to be very clear to everybody, though. As I talk about diversity, it isn't an award that goes to management. It is something that pervades a culture. And so it is very clear to me that any of these types of awards, particularly this one, though, is one that should be shared with the so many thousands of people that are involved every day with Southern, making good things happen for the communities we're privileged to serve. This truly is an award that should go out to the 30,000 people of Southern Company to thank them and recognize their contribution to making the fabric of the culture of this company better for decades to come. And so we're thrilled to accept it. But certainly this isn't an award to me, and it is an award to the management of Southern. It's an award to the 30,000 or so people that work here every day.
Congratulations again to Southern Company. Entrepreneurs are special people. They harness the winds of risk to spawn innovations and industries. Each year, this award recognizes an individual who is doing incredible work as an entrepreneur. It is extra special when this individual is an Inroads alum. She's a leader in the spirits industry. She has served as the president of Combs Enterprises, as in P. Diddy. She's been named one of Ad Age's Women to Watch, and she's, Mr. Harper, you would appreciate this, an alumna of Morgan State University. Today, Dia Sims is the CEO of Lobos 1707 Tequila and Mezcal, her own tequila line that launched in November 2020. She's the co-founder of Pronghorn, a standalone business dedicated to cultivating the next generation of executive leaders and entrepreneurs. Their initial aim is to apply industry-leading expertise while investing financial, individual, and network capital to effectively support, grow, and sustain Black-owned businesses in the spirits industry. Let's enjoy this video celebrating Dia Sims.
I learned about Inroads while I was in college, and I think I want to say the counselor at Morgan State University, go Bears, originally told me about it. And I was super excited about the opportunity. And honestly, I remember it very distinctly. The depth of training, the camaraderie with the other fellow interns, and just the level of opportunity that helped us to be actually really valuable and make sure the internship was requited. Great for the intern, great for the organization. It was incredible. I mean, I went on to work for Department of Defense and be in a similar situation, going to negotiate $100 million deals with Sean Puff Diddy Daddy, Brother Love Combs. Need to be prepared for that, right? You know, I mean, today, running a tequila brand with LeBron James or Arnold Schwarzenegger, but that beginning foundation of the confidence to move in any room, it really started with Inroads. I think just from a commercial win that I'm so proud of was our building the brand Ciroc. It had been not doing that well with one of the, it's still an amazing partner today with Diageo, and all the amazing work they've done in that space. So for us to be like a small, nimble entrepreneurial team and take on this brand and drive 1,000% growth, build that brand up to be a multi-billion-dollar retail value brand. And then just more on the philosophy side, Puff is such a consummate entrepreneur. And being there, and he'd have, 100 great ideas every day. And then working together and thinking through, okay, well, what's going to actually be scalable? What can we operationalize? What's going to be profitable? And what's going to make sense for us, for our lifestyle brands? And, it was like basically starting a series of startups, but with a built-in organization. It just really awakened the entrepreneurial bug in me. What came up with was we want to develop a template on how to effectively diversify any industry, starting with the Black community in the United States and starting with the spirits industry. So we are investing in 57 Black-owned founders. We are driving 1,800 new employees, new Black American employees in the entire spirits industry over the next 10 years. And in between these kind of two prongs, we have 11 supercharging elements, which help to make this industry a little easier to get into. And at the end of the entire program, we'll drive $2.4 billion of economic impact. And the reason why we call it pronghorn is the pronghorn is a North American animal mostly found in Montana. A lot of people are not familiar with it. It's the second fastest land mammal in the world. Looks kind of like an elk. And it's second only to the cheetah. It's actually the fastest land mammal in the United States. And a cheetah would beat a pronghorn in a sprint. But in a marathon, a pronghorn will win every single time. And when we look back at trying to catch up for centuries of inequity in the next decade, so we have a lot of ground to cover, but we do not have a lot of time. And this animal beautifully represented to us our intent to go far, but to go fast, and to build this example that can be replicated in American industry at large on how to effectively diversify an industry. It's especially exciting to be here because not only am I so grateful to be receiving an award, we are kicking off officially the relationship between Pronghorn and Inroads. And honestly, it really, for me personally, as an Inroads alum, is a dream come true. I am really beyond grateful for the designation, and I hope that our young people consider to take the wonderful experiences they learn as entrepreneurs and then, one day consider entrepreneurship as a path as well. So thank you guys so much.
Applauding because Dia Sims is here. Welcome to the stage, Dia Sims.
Good evening. I am so incredibly grateful. Thank you so much, Forrest. Thank you to the entire Inroads family. So grateful to everybody in the room tonight. Everybody joining online. These days, we don't take it for granted, right, to be in a room with one another, so it's not a small thing. And it means it's just particularly special when I reflect back on my times as an Inroads intern to get this recognition tonight. One of the things that was so special about Inroads was the deep understanding that there is no zip code that has a unique lock on talent, right? And I think, really in echoing a bit of what Mark from P&G said earlier, what Inroads does such a beautiful job of is streamlining, right, the journey from the classroom to the boardroom, and giving you all the intelligence and the passion and the information and the resources and the access to be successful. I'm incredibly, forever grateful for that foundation. I know that my life was changed because of it, and I just could not be more grateful to be here with you this evening. Thank you so much.
I like that pose. I'm gonna have to try that pose the next time I get my photograph taken on a red carpet. Thank you, Dia Sims. Let's give you another round of applause. All right, remember, tonight is about giving, and again, you can text Inroads Impact, one word, to 50155. Let's pause to hear from our sponsors. Actually, two of them.
It's every municipal bond investor's dream. A bright, shining city on a hill. A place where there won't be any economic, financial, or political problems. So you never worry about getting your principal and interest paid on time. But what if the city you've chosen doesn't live up to that dream? That's why investors turn to Assured Guaranty. We have a long history, a proven track record, and a wealth of financial resources. So if something does go wrong, we'll make it right. Assured Guaranty, a stronger bond.
More than steel and glass. More than square footage and four walls. More than facilities and floor plans. Today, more than ever, we see more. We see dimensions others can't, from perspectives others don't. More productivity, flexibility, and employee well-being. Opportunity to invest in the future. Potential in every business, in every space, in every person. Insights that transform. Because the more perspectives we have, the more dimensions we see.
Thank you for those messages, Assured Guaranty and CBRE. Now to the next award. This one's for leadership, and leadership matters. And the Excellence in Leadership Award is going to the visionary leading BET. As CEO of BET, Scott Mills has a big job. BET is not only a powerful TV network, BET is the nation's leading provider of quality content from Black creators and the champion of content and culture worldwide. And Scott is continuing a 40-year legacy of entertaining Black audiences through his commitment to entertain, engage, and empower the Black community. Please enjoy this special message from the CEO of BET, Scott Mills.
Inroads plays an extraordinarily important role in this broader ecosystem of supporting really talented, diverse young people in their journey to success. Success in academic environments and success in professional environments. And at the end of the day, what our community needs is we need more people to be successful. And so an organization like Inroads is so important in helping the really talented young folks in our community who have aspirations in these fields to be as successful and as competitive in these wildly competitive environments as they can be. And so for BET, it's entirely consistent with our mission. Our mission is to entertain, engage, and ultimately empower. And ultimately, what Inroads is doing is it's empowering our community.
So Inroads has more than 30,000 alumni around the world. These alumni lead some incredible companies and projects. This year's Alumni of the Year recipient is no exception. So here's some numbers for you. 3.5 billion. That's the amount of institutional real estate deals that this awardee has executed. 36 acres, the size of one of his mixed-use developments in Southwest Chicago. 900 billion. That's the amount his company has given in debt and equities for municipalities and corporations. The recipient of this award is Martin Cabrera, CEO and founder of Cabrera Capital Markets and Cabrera Capital Partners. Please enjoy this video celebrating him.
I think the advantages that you get from being in Inroads is that you have not just one leg up, you have two legs up. When you're going out there and thinking about your career, you have real life experience. All of those experiences that you have that other students in college don't have, but it allows you to have a different perspective and really kind of think through, what are you passionate about? What are you going to want to do in life? Not just in the business setting or career-wise, but also through the impact that you want to have. And that's what Inroads instilled in all of us, is that we are blessed, and from the founder, Father Carr, for us to be kind of paying it forward as well, and to ensure that we're going to continue with that volunteer spirit of giving back and helping others and being a mentor to others as well. Inroads had a tremendous impact on my life, and it wasn't just me. My mother saw it, my brother, my sister saw it as well, but the friendships that I created there, they're still great friends, and we still get together now. Kind of all of our kids and my friends' kids, they hang out together too. But it's really kind of the mentorship that we saw from the alumni coming back, and the individuals like Floyd Brady, who was the head of Chicago Inroads, how he would inspire us, but also challenge us, and to make sure that we're not just going to go out there and do well financially. We're going to go out there and change the world and set the world on fire and do a lot of good. And people are going to look at our communities much different because of who we are and what we're doing in life. I think it's extremely important to mentor others, and that's something that I learned early on with Inroads and our Saturday sessions. And all of the students, we're working during the day, so we had to put a suit and tie on. And then to come on a Saturday for these sessions that were all day and being in a suit and tie, you kind of were a little fatigued, but by the end of the day on a Saturday, you realized all of these great speakers that were alum of Inroads, that were Connie Lindsay from Northern Trust or Will Evans from People's Gas, that were Inroaders just like us. And they came back to spend time with us, to share their experiences, to give us a lending hand and a different perspective on how we can be better as interns and students, and the opportunities that were going to be coming our way. And seeing those mentors, it really allowed me to think about what I want to be doing, not just in work, but also in volunteerism and to be philanthropic as well. I think the advice I would share with current college students is that it's a great big world out there. You have to go out there and explore it. Different areas of business or engineering, and really not just within our borders of the US, go and take some study abroad programs to take advantage of. It'll give you a different perspective on business, whether it's in Europe or Asia or Latin America. I would encourage folks to be, whatever they do, be passionate about it. Make sure you love what you're doing. And if you do, then you'll be great at it.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. I know it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you, Forrest, and the whole Inroads team, kind of the staff and the family. I know it was always part of our Inroads family. And I appreciate the award. It's I never lose sight of the fact that, you know, growing up in the southwest side of Chicago, we were never exposed to corporate America. I never had any family members that worked in an office. So one of the stories I told was that my first day at work at one of the CNA insurance companies in the investment department, I thought I looked really sharp because I had a brown sports coat with big buttons, some black pants tied at the ankles with some black shoes and silver tips. And I went in there thinking I looked really good. So one of my managers pulled me aside, the gentleman Dennis Hemme, and he told me, he's like, Martin, he's like, you should go to Sears, get a blue sucker suit and get a white shirt, a red tie, and the tie goes to your belt buckle, not like halfway between your waist and your knees. And go to Florisheim and you can get some black shoes there, some Bostonians. And I was like, okay, thank you, Mr. Hemme. And that was on I think it was on a Tuesday. And, you know, I went and did what he said. And Saturday, we had an Inroads session, kind of one of those all-day sessions that we all loved. And, but that's where they showed us a video how to dress for success and how to play the part. So fast forward kind of 14 years later, I had opened up my business, and Dennis Hemme was one of the accounts. They're one of the big bond buyers in the country. I had to get his approval. And I reminded him, I was like, Dennis, you helped me out so much. You gave me some advice on how to dress. And he's like, Martin, I told you that? And he's like, you probably thought I was the biggest jerk. And that's probably putting it nicely. I'm like, no. I was like, Dennis, no, it's like you helped me so much because nobody in my family could give me that advice and guidance. And it was kind of the folks in the internship, but also the Inroads staff. And they were tough. And they would tell you how to dress, how to change your hair for the girls, take off those earrings, style your hair differently. But it was good because we were kids in the neighborhood, but it was our family. So we would get together full of fire in our belly. We had business folks, we had engineers. We'd say, look, we got a bunch of black and brown students here. We could take over the country and run businesses, and we're going to start up our own businesses. And some of the Inroads mentors, they're like, okay, slow down. It's like, you need to go make mistakes with other people's money before you actually do that. And that was some great advice. But Inroads was such a special place in our heart because those bonds and those friendships, you know, they've lasted, you know, 3 decades. And I still hang out with my kind of Inroads friends, but also our mentors at the time. Now they're colleagues. And it was really about our civic duty wherever we're at, whether New York, Chicago, LA, to give back. And, you know, I've been very fortunate and blessed, and I've been able to give advice to presidents of this country and other countries and meet with major CEOs. But I never lose sight of the fact that, you know, I was helped out by my sponsoring company, by Inroads as well. And it made a huge difference in my life. So I just want to say thank you, especially to all those sponsoring companies for supporting Inroads and all the Inroads staff for all you do. You guys are like mentors and family to so many people out there, and will continue to make a difference. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for Martin Cabrera.
And I love that story that you told, Martin, about the person at work who pulled you aside and gave you that advice. That is a kindness that meant the world to you and set you on a path. And it's a reminder to all of us that even the smallest kindness can change the trajectory of someone's life, anybody's life. Time for message from our sponsors, two of them, Pepsi and Truist.
Meet Jessica Moore. Jessica was born to care. She always had your back, like the time she spotted the neighbor kid, an approaching car, a puddle, and knew there was going to be a situation.
That's my best friend. She don't need no list, drive her own car.
Miss Hogan's class? Yeah, it's Atlantis. Nice. I don't think they had camels in Atlantis.
Really? Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Making a difference is big work. And here to share a story of impact is Inroads intern Michael Aluko. Let's welcome him to the stage.
Hello, everybody. I'm a little nervous, so bear with me. Hello, my name is Michael Aluko. I'm a proud Inroads alumni. It's a little different saying it out my mouth. College Links intern and interns program alum. I'm graduating from the illustrious Bowie State University with a business. Thank you. With a bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in finance. On May 20th, 15 days away. Again. Thank you so much. It doesn't feel real. It feels like it's not even happening. So I'm excited. My Inroads experience is like a blast from the past. I joined Inroads my sophomore year in high school because my sister was in the program, Comforter Luco, she's here with me, and she gained a lot of value. I now have two younger brothers that are also in the program, Joshua and Elijah, and we have two more on the way, so get ready. I joined Inroads, like I said, in 10th grade. Initially, to me, it was just an extracurricular activity on Saturdays. My father said, let's go. I said, okay, let's go. And I didn't really understand the advantage that Inroads was giving me amongst my peers. Just to give you a little understanding about, how Inroads changed my life. In high school, I received an externship at Booz Allen Hamilton, and this is in high school. So I was really getting an advantage over my, my peers and my siblings. And going into high school, when I was in high school, my junior year, going into college, we had an activity, we had a program at Morgan State University for a week where we were able, go Bears, we were able to meet a lot of the Morgan State University alum, and we were able to learn a lot, and it was kind of like a glimpse into the future of what the college experience will feel like. Again, I'm graduating from high school. I don't know what college is going to be like, and right before I go into college, I have an opportunity to kind of get a glimpse into that world. And going into college, my junior year of college, Inroads provided me with that opportunity as an intern, as a financial analyst intern at Fannie Mae, and this was last summer. And again, this is a transitional period of my life. As transitional periods in everyone's lives is scary. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's to come. And I had no idea of what the corporate world would look like. So my internship at Fannie Mae, I was able to gain a lot of experience. I was able to make a lot of mistakes, and I was okay because I was an intern. So it was all good, and it was an amazing experience. And now me graduating from Bowie State University again in a few days, Inroads came through for me again. I was through the Inroads internship program. I was able to get a full-time offer, and I accepted a full-time offer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. A full-time offer, and you guys are gonna love this, at Paramount. At Paramount. As a financial analyst, I'm moving to California. I'm extremely excited, and again, I just want to say thank you so much to Inroads. I want to give a big shout out to Pierre Campbell. He's been more than a mentor to me since high school. It's been 8 years now, and he feels like an uncle, you know, deeper than just teaching me about how to be a professional in my school and in a career. He teaches me a lot about life. And that quote that we heard earlier, my response is my responsibility, it stuck with me since day one. Every single session, my response is my responsibility. And it stuck with me because it helped me understand that my life is in my hands, along with God. It's in my hands. So I have to take control. And the results that I achieve is my responsibility. So thank you so much for all the Inroads staff, for all that you've done. Thank you so much for the sponsoring companies, because without you, I would not be here. Like I said, every transitional period, Inroads has came through for me, and it's because of you guys' support. Thank you so much.
Wow, BET, NBC Universal, and now Paramount. This is great. Could all the Alucos who are here stand up? Where's the sister? And Michael, congratulations. That is an incredible and great story. And the story that you told figures into something that I tell young people. I'm at that age now where I get to say I tell young people. And I hope this is something that will stick with you. Everything you do in life is an audition for something else. You just don't know what it is yet. And that will never end. Trust me. Guess what? Time for giving. You can probably recite the number by now, but again, text Inroads Impact, all one word, to 50155. Our next award recipient is a hard-driving and compassionate change agent. His leadership is not only seen but felt by each of us in the room. The Lifetime Achievement Award recipient is none other than Congressman James E. Clyburn of the great state of South Carolina, who is also the House Majority Whip and the third-ranking Democrat in the United States House of Representatives. As a national leader, he has championed rural and economic development, and many of his initiatives have become law. His 10-20-30 federal funding formula was included in 4 sections of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. Whip Clyburn is also a passionate supporter of historic preservation and restoration programs. His efforts have restored scores of historic buildings and sites in the campuses of historically Black colleges and universities. His legislation created the South Carolina National Heritage Corridor and the Gullah Geechee Cultural Heritage, Cultural Heritage Corridor. He elevated the Kungari National Monument to a national park and established the Reconstruction Era National Monument in South Carolina's Low Country. His accomplishments go on and on and on, and I'm not going to list them all because we don't have that much time. I will just say this, since the special message from Whip Clyburn, we're not going to be able to play it, but I will say this. When I got the invitation to be the MC for tonight, it was an immediate yes. because I saw the name of James Clyburn as among the honorees. He is one of the kindest, generous people I've met, certainly in the United States House. He is, I think a lot of people forget, a civil rights leader. And with the passing of Congressman John Lewis, he is one of the remaining civil rights leaders who've been elected to Congress. And he and John Lewis met during that momentous time. So I want to congratulate Whip Clyburn on this Lifetime Achievement Award. And since he cannot be with us, I would love for us to give him a round of applause anyway.
I'm Jim Clyburn. I serve the 6th Congressional District of South Carolina and serve as a House Majority Whip in the United States Congress. Having learned a few things about Inroads, I must admit I never focused on the work of Inroads until recently. And now I've interacted with several people who have received beneficial experiences as a result of their work and their selection for their work by Inroads. When I wrote my memoirs, I called it Blessed Experiences. And it must be the thought process of those who put Inroads together, because when I talk to people who have benefited from Inroads, they tell me about the experiences that the involvement allowed them to have, and the fact that they would never have those experiences otherwise. You have made some incredible people by providing them with some incredible experiences. You are growing up in a country that has made certain promises. Those promises are based upon that which we recite so often. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America with liberty and justice for all is the way it ends. With liberty and justice for all. And so what I try to do here in my service, it's on everything that I write. Almost every speech that I give, you find in that speech, at some point, a little phrase, making America's greatness accessible and affordable for all. I borrowed that from our pledge, and I've internalized it for my service. Whenever I see lifetime achievement, I think that maybe someone is getting ready for one's obituary, though I hope that's not the case. I'm very hopeful that there is time left for me to do the things that are necessary to prove myself worthy of this recognition. In the introduction to my book, I wrote that all of my experiences have not been pleasant, but I've considered all of them to be blessings. And I've been blessed, having interacted with many people who have had the Inroads experience, not knowing what it was they attributed their successes to. And so thank you for honoring me in this way. And as I said at the outset, I truly hope that I can live long enough to prove myself worthy. Godspeed.
And let's keep applauding, because I wanted to give special congratulations to all of our award recipients. Your leadership is making a difference, and also for Michael, too. So, legacy. It is the defining characteristic of leadership. It is why we work daily to offer impact that extends generations. As you know, Inroads was founded in 1970 and was inspired by a thought that came to Father Frank Carr while listening to the I Have a Dream speech, not far from where we celebrate today. I am honored to kick off the introduction of a special initiative that will commemorate the work we celebrate today, the Inroads Heritage Center.
I am one of about 15 former Inroads staff, corporate supporters, alumni, and parents who've come together to form the IHA. After an initial meeting and the group sitting around a table on Zoom reviewing all the accomplishments of today's Inroads, several members wanted to make sure that future generations of Inroads staff, corporation students knew the roots of the Inroads organization. We were made aware that Dollar Bank had developed a virtual heritage center for their bank, and we were impressed. And then while inquiring with a gentleman at Dollar Bank, who's their chief archivist, he went to the management of Dollar Bank and committed that Dollar Bank had the resources to help us develop the virtual website. Needless to say, without this happening, there would not be an IHA or a virtual IHC. The site's going to cover the first 30 years of Inroads history, basically 1970 through year 2000. That's going to cover really two generations that are going to reflect the results of the vision, the early participants, and their sons and daughters. We believe it's important to tell the history of Inroads because Inroads worked. Frank Carr's vision worked. My favorite memory, and you'll see it on the site, is the Dream to Reality video that really opens with Frank attending the 1963 march with Dr. Martin Luther King, and really how that really inspired this white conservative business person to quit his job and develop Inroads. So that video really it almost brings tears to my eyes every time I see it. That story of really how Inroads got started. Frank often said, you can't send a person to the football field with a tennis racket. One needs the right tools. Inroads provided the tools for success in the corporate world, and the IHC is a treasure trove of these tools.
As we close tonight, let's remember the enduring impact of the work we celebrate. It was indeed an honor to serve as your Master of Ceremonies tonight and to join you in the effort to transform lives. To close out this incredible celebration, I am honored to invite the Inroads National Board Chair to the stage. She is the Chief Information Officer and Senior Vice President of Customer Success and Business. And my page, the other page, with her name is not here. Yvette Smith. I'm sorry, Yvette. It's like, where did you go? I'm
It's okay. It's all right. It's no problem. It's been an evening. But we're resilient and we will get through it. So as Jonathan is literally running to get wine. So thank you, Jonathan, so much for being such a gracious master of ceremonies. You have carried us through. Let's give Jonathan a hand. His ability to bob and weave and flex has been so appreciated. I also want to give another round of applause to all of our honorees. You've been amazing, all of your contributions. Thank you. We're honored. Thank you. I also want to thank everybody in person. It is awesome to be in person, as well as online, for sharing in this milestone celebration. This has been just such a lovely night, and it has been a night, and will be a night about giving. We have several ways for you to give. I want to remind you. You can text Inroads Impact to 50155. I tested it before I came in, so I don't want to hear anybody say it didn't work. It does work. You can also, if you're in the room, you have your the little card in your seat, and you can use the QR code to also give online. I want to make a special call out to the alumni. You heard the impact of Inroads that it has on students. As I stand here as a product of Inroads, 39 years ago, a long time. I started in Inroads. Those Saturdays were equally as long back then. I am proud for what Inroads, and thankful, more important, thankful for what Inroads has done for me. And I want to remind you that the gifts that you give can lead to the next Fortune 500 CIO standing before you in X number of years ahead of us. The next entrepreneurs, the next business leaders. So please be generous. I'd like to thank our national board who is here, many who are here, many who are online. You all are fabulous. You are highly committed to the Inroads mission, and I'm just thankful for all you do. As Forrest says, the hardest working board in nonprofit. Thank you, Forrest, for your visionary leadership. As the president and CEO of Inroads, your energy never ceases to amaze me. And you continue to turn that energy into impact. And we are so thankful for that every day. A special thanks to our 2022 Gala sponsors. Your commitment to our transformation makes a difference in lives every single day. And I want to thank you, the staff, everybody who's been a part of this, for everything that you've done. And I just want to thank each one of you for being part, either a big part or a small part of this over 50-year journey that we've been on together. And just really the impact and difference that you've made. Thank you. In closing, if you're online, our event will loop, and in case you missed anything, you can watch it again. For those of you who are here with me, the party will resume. There's plenty of wine, tequila. The spirits industry has been very gracious to us, and so thank you. Immediately following this program, we'll start to celebrate. Thank you all for being a part of this momentous occasion. Be careful, and good night.